So today, Dre and I are going to be working on Salon Gratitude guest Jensen. We're going to be doing a razor cut. Here's her before look. So we're going to go through the sectioning. Basically, the sectioning is very simple. Just below parietal on both sides. And it's basically going to make a crisscross X in the back. So the X should be right around the occipital bone, just nice high occipital section. Starting in the back, we're going to work at a low 0-degree elevation, just trying to keep a maximum amount of weight at this point. And we're going to go through with a nice medium stroke to the razor. Going through, just working on a straight line, nice little shatter feel to it. The thing I like most about the razor is it's just a creative tool for me, because with the scissor you're basically either point cutting or cutting a straight line across. With the razor you can add depth with the movement of the feel of the blade. So if I feel like I want to take a little bit extra weight or have a more shattered feel to the cut, it's very simple. I can just change the stroke pattern of the razor. So as we're going through in this cut, you're going to see the differences in that. And it's just a really great way to create a lot of texture within a haircut. Now I'm going through and I'm just going to go just to that first curve of the head. So right at the occipital bone when the head starts to dip away. And I'm going to take a horizontal section and bring that straight down. I want to basically be creating another 0-degree angle. So because the head is starting to peel away, I want to just slight elevation, using that razor in there, a little bit heavier stroke to it, a little bit more shattered feel. But the goal of this haircut is really just to create a lot more weight at the bottom. So we want that, that big feel to the hair that we can round brush and style and curl. So that's really what this is all about. This is an everyday client. This is a haircut that you could use in the salon on an everyday basis. So just keeping it at the very beginning, nice low 0-degree angle, medium stroke with the razor, keeping the razor at a 45-degree angle so we get a nice clean cut. Then after I get that straight line, I'm going to take it right at the curve of the head, a horizontal section. We're going to elevate that slightly to another 0-degree and give it a cut there. You'll see right there at that round of the head. So we're going to slightly elevate it. This is definitely a round feel to the haircut because I'm following the curve. Heavier stroke at this point gives me a little bit more of a shattered feel. Now a lot of guests in the salon get nervous about a razor, but first off, change your razor blade. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a salon and first off, people never use the razor, and second, the razor blade is probably 6 months old. They've never changed the blade. So change your blade within the haircut. I mean, you sharpen your scissors and you spend money on that. So spend money on some blades, and then make sure you keep that blade at a 45-degree angle. You shouldn't keep the blade parallel, and work it through the hair so it gives it a nice cut to it. If you think about it, a razor blade is actually sharper than a scissor blade. So there should be no worry if you're doing razor cuts if you know what you're doing. So we work through the front, we cut that straight line. Now slight elevation right at the curve of the head there. This one's going to be over directed slightly towards her face because I want to start to build a little bit of movement around her cheekbone and around that face frame. I'm trying to nice, light, airy layers in there. We'll just check it out. We'll move to the other side. So I found cutting with the straight razor is really, it's all in the movement, the bounce with the wrist, just staying consistent up and down with the razor. So if I want to take out a lot of weight, I'm going to move it much bigger strokes in there. And then, if you're going to cut a straight line, just real quick strokes, but they should always be the same level in there. And cutting with the razor, it's one of those things where you might be uncomfortable at first, but just keep practicing. It's a tool that becomes more and more comfortable in your hand the more you use it. So just keep it up, just keep trying and practicing with it, and you're gonna love it. Nice elevation. Keeping it at that 0 degree, that's really the thing. You can see how it comes off the curve of the head and we're keeping it at a 0. People would look at that as a 45-degree angle. You gotta watch the curve of the head and how it moves. So when the curve of the head starts to peel away, that elevation that you're making is now not a 45-degree angle. It's creating 0 degrees. So it's gonna be a nice weight-filled haircut. Give you a lot of hair to work with when you wanna build up a nice style. Split that at the curve, elevation, medium stroke with the razor, working our way through. Now we're going to move into the top of the head. We're going to split that right at the division point. So right in the middle, apex of the head, high point. I'm going to clip away the front. And we're just going to work on the back panel of this haircut. So combing out that triangular section, we're going to go through with just the tip of the razor and peel away some of that, just creating a little texture in the back of the haircut. Then I'm going to comb that out, and I'm going to go through with a heavy stroke with the razor and just cut a nice line across. So we're going to take out a lot of weight, create texture with the point of the razor. Then we're going to go through a nice heavy stroke and create the line. You could do the line first as well. I just like to get some of that weight out of there and then go through and decide where I'm going to put the line after. Now we're going to work with the fringe. The fringe was really the inspiration for the haircut. It was really how do we create a really nice angled fringe but is lightweight. A lot of our guests complain in the salon about having a heavy bang. Usually it sits heavy between the eye and the ear. So in that temple area, it's a heavy fringe. So you got to look at the elevation here and how I'm taking the sections. It's a typical section for a side swept bang or fringe, but I'm going to do heavier strokes with the razor, so it's going to make it lighter. And then you're going to see as I start working my way back on the head, I'm going to leave out some hair, grab the new hair, and then make a nice high elevation as I work my way up the head. So as the head starts to curve away, I'm going to elevate my hand. That is why the fringe gets heavier in a typical haircut, because we just keep bringing it over and cutting it at the same elevation. But the head is moving away from us, so the more that head moves away and the more we over direct sections, the heavier the hair is getting. So just making sure that as I work through here with the razor, I'm elevating higher and higher, and I'm using bigger strokes with the razor. That's going to make a nice successful light fringe haircut. Just checking the length. You'll see I'll take some section from the back, but I'm not taking that whole entire panel up because now I want to start to keep elevating the hair, making it nice and light. I love cutting with the razor because I feel like you can really see exactly what is happening while you're cutting. Sometimes with the scissor, you lift the hair up, you cut it, and then you got to go back and cut it again because it just wasn't quite at that length. Well, the razor, you're putting the hair right where you want it, and you're going through and moving quickly. So it's a quick, efficient way in the salon to work, and which is great because time equals money. And you know, it's a really cool artistic tool to use. So it's one of those things that take it from your belt, start using it, get out the new blade and try it out. Drea's going to take over, show us some style.
We are going to start our blow dry with 3 panels. This allows us to work seamlessly through the blow dry starting at the nape. One of my favorite things is working with diagonal partings through the sides and back with medium elevation to create body. Through this, we are working with the round brush to create a nice bend and wave through the hair. We want to make sure we let the hair cool around the round brush because that's not only going to add our body and shine, it's also going to set the style in place. Moving into the top, we want to create a little more lift and movement through the front, focusing on over-directing back and then sweeping the hair forward to create a nice flow. We're going to finish this look off with a little bit of blonde to add a little bit more wave to her hair. We want to shake out each of those curls just to give it a little bit less tightness. And then we want to make sure that we're alternating the curls so that it gives it more lived-in natural look. And there's our look with Jensen.